But in the first hour, we also have a very hot and important guest to speak with me in this hour. And he is none other than someone that we haven't had on for some time, and I'm ashamed to say it, but he's always been a great guest, always been informative, and has a product that is out of this world. He is Thomas James, the Administrative Director of HempUSA.org. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Rick. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you doing where you are right now?
Excellent, excellent. Ready to go and educate some people in America and around the world about hemp and some of the other products that we have to make them healthy.
That's great. You know, I'd like to start right off tonight by talking about something that we've been talking about on this program for at least 3 months now, and that is the disaster to people that has befallen the Gulf states with this massive oil gush and the methane gases, the benzene gases, the chlorination, all of the poisons going into them and having a tremendously bad effect on their health. Now, you too have spoken about that, and your company, HempUSA.org, also has a product that is really making a big difference in people and protecting their health, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's very important that people detoxify. In the Gulf states, anywhere on Earth, we need to, pull toxins out of our body, but more now in the Gulf states, because of the chemicals that they're using for the cleanup are not just in the water, they're creeping onto the land, and they're falling out of the sky because everything has to evaporate into the clouds. People are saying that they're green vegetables, the leaves are burning, they can see holes in them. People are going to the hospital, they're having breathing, upper respiratory problems, and we actually came out with a product that we've improved. I'm sure we've talked about, if people remember, our microplant powder.
Sure do.
And this powder, what it does is not only detoxify, doesn't detoxify, just detoxify the body. What it does is it feeds the body. And it also, what we've added to it, Rick, has really been something amazing. We wanted to add something to the product that would actually help the immune system. And when you help the immune system, you're putting good bacteria into the gut with our product, which means you're going to create all the B vitamins in the gut.
Yep.
You're going to create biotin, vitamin K, which we're all deficient in.
Yes.
That's what this product does now. So the product I'm talking about is none other than microplant powder.
Yes.
And it's with our new addition, Lactobacillus acidophilus.
I see that.
Yes. And what that is, if anybody doesn't know, is it's a good bacteria that the stomach needs. It's found in everybody's gut. It helps digestion. And what it does is it keeps the balance of everything in the gut at normal levels.
Right. Okay, let's stop here, Thomas, because we got a quick break. We'll be right back, folks. Listen in. Much more to come with my guest and our program, Rick Adams. All right, folks, we're back now live with Thomas James of HempUSA.org, and we are just going to talk, he and I, for the hour here. I want you to listen. There's a lot more to come. But, Thomas, you just said something that, we've been talking to our other resident experts about here, and that is the human toll, the disaster that has befallen the people who live in those Gulf states who are adversely affected by the poisons, the toxins that are going into their bodies, leaching in. And how have you had any reports so far on the microplant powder, particularly the brand new microplant powder that you have out there? People buying it and helping themselves?
Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you something. In every tablespoon of microplant powder, it now comes with 3 billion colony-forming units of Lactobacillus acidophilus in every tablespoon, which is a large amount of good bacteria so the stomach can start digesting its food
You need
again.
that, the E. coli and all of the acidophilus bacteria, you know, the lactobacillus and all of the important friendly bacteria are really important. A lot of people have stomach problems because they don't have them, you know, they don't have enough.
Well, absolutely. It all begins in the gut. If the gut is healthy, the whole body is going to be healthy. See, because when we actually digest food, we break down proteins back down to amino acids. Mm-hmm. And then the stomach rebuilds them again into proteins so the body knows it's from the gut. And then it starts to rebuild the body. But until we digest our food and break down our food properly, we will never assimilate what we're eating, and we'll never feel really at the top of our game. So as I said earlier, if we give the body the proper nutrients, it will heal itself. Mm-hmm. And that's what microplant powder does. And I think the audience here and around the world will realize why we sell so much of it is because people reorder it. And every time they reorder it, they tell one of their friends or relatives about it, and more people buy it. So it's like growing. And we're getting wonderful results. Mm-hmm. Wonderful results, Rick.
One of the interesting explanations that you give in the product, by the way, people can access HempUSA.org, or we'll give the number in a few moments that you can call, by the way, to get your supply. But one of the interesting descriptions that you give right on the site, I think, is very important for all of us to listen to, and that is how the poisons, the toxins are trapped inside the cylinders and then pass out of the body. And all of these toxins that build up are the basic cause, the underlying cause of all degenerative diseases people have. You know, everything from cancer to, you know, heart disease, arthritis, all of the diseases that now are afflicting Americans. And we know that the World Health Organization, the UN, the internationalists, the Zionists, all of them working to depopulate the earth, to get the population down. And they're doing it. They're doing a very successful job in war. They're doing it in famine. They're doing it in pestilence. They're doing it in spraying that you've talked about here on your site, the chemtrails. All of these things are accomplishing that fiendish end, aren't they, Thomas?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that this whole thing was a false flag, and I just really am interested in helping the people in that area and around the world detoxify. And the people in that area, in the Gulf states, need this more than anybody, and it will pull out heavy metals, it'll pull out viruses, fungus, bacteria, and I want everybody to know this, parasites. Mm-hmm. It will destroy them. And if you're talking about cleaning the arterial wall, microplant's incredible for that, softening all the heart valves, which we've talked about the last time on your show.
Right.
It makes the skin, the hair, and the nails beautiful. Okay?
Yeah.
And what's really amazing is once people use it, they buy it again. So that just tells us that we just have people that are thrilled with it. And some people are very toxic, Rick. Some people aren't as toxic as others. So sometimes you might get it to work in one day. Sometimes it'll take a few weeks to work. It just depends on how toxic that individual is, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, many people, as you know, who are suffering from cancer, they already have a high level of toxicity in the body. And then if they go for the conventional treatments, chemotherapy among them, they add to that toxicity. They add to it tremendously. How does this help people who have already been through the chemotherapy treadmill?
Well, if they've been all through that, see, what's nice about microplant powder, it won't affect anything that you're taking. It won't interfere with any kind of medication or whatever you're taking. So they don't have to fear it having a consequence on hurting the body in any way. But it'll just work at cleaning out everything we talked about earlier. And it does it naturally. You know, our products they're just natural. There's nothing else added to it. The only thing we added to microplant powder to make it better was lactobacillus acidophilus. And if you look at all our other products, they're all 100% natural also. Mm-hmm. So I just want people to know that there's nothing that's going to conflict with what they're taking. If they've gone through any kind of therapy at all, this will only help them. And you could take as much as you want or as little as you want, but we recommend at least a tablespoon a day. Average person takes 3 heaping tablespoons a day, but it just depends on how much you're doing. And I recommend doing it with a lot of water, Rick.
Right.
You want to flush that body out, and that's what this does. This takes large amounts of toxins out of the body. We just have so many happy customers. I just want more customers to realize that this is something that could really help the people in the Gulf states.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you recommend taking it on an empty stomach or with meals?
It doesn't matter. Empty stomach, with meals, before bed, after bed. People constantly ask us that. They're so conditioned about that. It does not matter. They could take this at any time. It will still have the same effect on the body.
Mm-hmm. So you could basically take it up to 3 tablespoons a day, you say, is what people who are really, really heavily taking it are doing, about 3 times a day. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. Morning, noon, and night. We'd highly recommend it in water or any liquid. And a lot of people are using it in their pet and animal food for their horses, their farm animals, for their dogs and cats. And we're seeing great healing effects in the bone structure of animals, upper respiratory systems. It creates a beautiful, shiny coat on dogs and cats after 30 days. Mm-hmm. And I'd recommend, if they're going to be doing it for the dog, to add the hemp oil with it, because dogs and cats love hemp oil, and it's so good for them that you'll see a difference in their coats.
Right, from the hemp seed. We should talk about that as we develop this hour, because a lot of people who are new to this don't quite follow all of the mechanics of it. But let me start by asking you, how does this product work? I mean, hemp, we've heard so much about the hemp seed and the natural hemp seed in where it's grown and harvested, and how you have to import it here into the United States because of the various lobbies. Tell us a little bit about the story, the origins of hemp seed, hemp oil, and the product microplant powder, how it came to be.
Yeah, hemp is an amazing food. It's been used for food, clothing, and shelter since time began. It is not allowed to be grown in America for over 75 years, which is kind of sad for the American people, and it's great for the Canadian government because we have to buy everything through them.
That's incredible.
It's pretty shocking that our farmers can't benefit from this wonderful crop. They actually mixed it up on purpose back in the 30s with the Marijuana Tax Act. They actually hid the hemp plant and the hemp seed behind the marijuana plant and the marijuana seed. It is a totally different product, a different plant, same variety, different variety rather, same species. It's got the same leaf, but it grows differently. It is not psychoactive. It has no THC in it at all, which is tetrahydrocannabinol. It is a food that has been used to regenerate the human body. It's got all the amino acids. It has all the essential fatty acids, perfect balance of omega-6 to omega-3. It's got huge amounts of magnesium, potassium, and and calcium, and it just really makes such a benefit in the body when people take it. Not only do they lose the desire for junk food cravings, Rick, they lose the desire for that, it actually really cuts down the desire to eat because it really controls the appetite. You're now giving the body such large amounts of nutrients that it's not used to getting with other processed foods that your body's going to just be totally satisfied, and you will lose weight without even thinking about it. So when you eat this food, you're not only benefiting, you're going to really shed pounds of weight without even thinking about it.
Well, that's something that I think most people, not all, but most people need to do and want to do, and that makes it very much an add-on, an added benefit when people are thinking about that, because one of the things that people are doing today, as you know, more than ever, is sitting before computers, sitting before televisions, and adding on the baggage, and couch potato mentality is in. It's in vogue, and that's not good. It's not good for people, particularly here in America. Young people are suffering from this malaise now as never before. They need to get away. They need to get out of the house.